This is the Conscious Business Podcast.
Why don't you take it away, my friend? Because you had the fun.
Oh boy. Oh, because then there's dealing with Braden as well. Holy cow. Yeah, so I mean, these people were a referral that once they were turned out to be a troublesome client and giving some backlash and some attitude. Actually, you know what? They weren't even bad. They weren't bad until we got the accepted offer. Yeah, because it was after closing, I guess, because it was an older house. The lender, for whatever reason, I think it was a private lender. They had some weird rules, and they wanted to make sure the electrical panel would be upgraded prior to completion. So I got my buddy who's an electrician involved. He's got his own company. And so he went out and did the electrical upgrade, and everything going through BC Hydro was super slow. Like this is fairly early pandemic times, like spring and early summer of 2020. And like everything was slow. Everything was screwed up. All the systems were messed. Like we couldn't get the equipment needed to bring power out from BC Hydro. So like it got pushed and pushed and pushed. And we actually had to the mortgage broker had to step in and like throw our weight around a little bit to then like contact people to be like, hey, this job needs to be done now with BC Hydro. And we got it done. Otherwise the lenders weren't going to fund it. And the lady was absolutely freaking the hell out because she didn't understand what was going on. She like her husband would have to like be like, yo, like, okay, calm down. Like he's right. So like, it was just a nightmare. She just didn't understand how the world worked. And it's like, well, why do we have to wait? It's like, well, because there's other jobs in front of this. And like, so it was just a nightmare. Then, so we didn't get the final stamp of approval from the city on the power upgrade that was done. And then, she's mad at Braden, telling him that it cost more than it was supposed to. And just every little thing, like if Braden doesn't do this job, they don't get the house. And she didn't seem to be able to wrap that around her head because she treated him like absolute trash and just like spoke so poorly to him. And like she wanted to literally write him up. She actually talked about suing both of us multiple times due to lack of communication, when there wasn't a lack of communication. There wasn't any updates to communicate on. And like there was nothing outside of my scope that like I did wrong. Like it was just a nightmare. And then closing came, and I don't even remember what I got them, but I just like they were pretty happy. And then so it's like, I'm done. I'm not talking to you psychos anymore. Like you guys are a nightmare.
Probably gave you a 5-star review though. No, and that's the thing, right? Like you don't rate the person that you work with, right?
And at first they were super cool. Like I was like, I would go hang out and drink wine with these people at their house. Hell yeah.
I thought they were cool too.
Yeah, it turns out she's a nut job.
I think you see into like people's finances a little bit, and that makes people uncomfortable. A lot of people aren't comfortable even talking about, or haven't been educated on certain aspects about spending.
I would say it's definitely the education part for sure.
Right? Mm-hmm. Never taught in school.
And I think there have been some rather large income streams from past relationships that set a bar pretty high for a precedent of what your life expectations are for like what things cost, and like taking things for granted, like always having the nicest things. And then, then later down the road when you don't have that stream of income, you still just want to feel that good feeling. So you're like, okay, I'll impulse buy a Land Rover, at a interest rate
34%.
That's like, was 1% away from being illegal.
No, it was quite a bit more than that, but
it was more than illegal.
No, illegal is like
62%
or 56%.
Oh wow, I thought it was like 29.
That's
a credit card.
Yeah.
Okay, well either way, interest rate on this vehicle loan was astronomically high.
I think he swiped his Visa.
No, it was on it was financed through the auto loan company. No down payment, terrible credit. In order to get the loan, you got to pay how much? 35?
They had 34% interest.
Like you just have to have zero
Knowledge
of the financial system and how money works to hear those things spoken to you and not like, oh, that actually seems like a bad idea. I should not do that.
Critical steps, like when you show people like what it costs and you break it down and they see, like, it lights up a lot of, light bulbs for them, that like finances have to come in and they have to be prepped. And
what were the monthly payments? Do you remember?
Man,
I want to say they were in the 4,000s, if I'm not mistaken.
For the $4,000 a month for their auto loan.
probably like 7-8 years too.
Probably too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like, I want to say like, I have 4238 in my head for some reason. So,
holy cow.
Just think of the payments and like being able to buy that, and think about like if our market for housing is going up 35, 30, 40% depending on which areas you're in. That's like what that loan is to you.
$4,500 is $1 million mortgage. Well, it maybe not today's fixed rates, but it was pretty close.
That's crazy.
So yeah, we learned to try and avoid the nut jobs. At least I did on that one.
If you don't vibe with them, just let them go bring their shitty energy to someone else that they can boss around.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
I think though,
did I give you any nightmares?
That one?
Yeah, did I give you any nightmare referrals?
Maybe I have. I don't know.
No? I've been pretty good? Okay.
It's not very many.
I get it.
Business shots. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
But that client is what made me start a no-go list. So
is it broadcasted anywhere?
My no-go?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on my wall by my computer.
Oh, you should like share it with other mortgage brokers or other business people.
I hope they all go out of business this year.
That's rude.
Our goal is to educate people.
You gotta bring everyone up with you, Justin. None of this enemy mentality.
I will bring everyone up in every other industry, but fellow competition brokers in the Lower Mainland, aka ones that I strive to be like.
Did it rhyme?
No comment.
Yeah. They got a bigger team though, to be fair.
That's fair, yes.
And they're probably a lot smarter than you too, so
100%.
That's also
yeah, no, completely.
I'm just kidding. I think you're a smart man.
I'm a caveman with a stick. It's totally fine. I can lift more weight than they can, all combined.
Who was I having this conversation with today? I was explaining them who Justin was. I'm like, he's my strongman mortgage broker. He's my go-to. I can't remember who that was.
I'm self-proclaimed strongest mortgage broker in Canada.
And we talked about
it's on my Instagram.
We talked about how you guys wanted to, like that other guy that
there's one in Ontario.
Yeah, you guys want to meet in Kelowna and have like a powerlifting competition between the two of you to really decide who is Canada's strongest mortgage broker. Imagine that being a TV show. There's only one episode though.
It'd be rad. No, we could have 3. We could have a bench episode, we could have a squat episode, and we could have a deadlift episode.
Well, you need an intro. You need to introduce both the guys. That's a solid season. That's a mini series at least.
Well, and the best part too is in mortgages in Canada, there's 2 networks, DLC and Verico, which I'm part of, and he was DLC. So it'd also be like head-to-head rivals going down. Throw in some like kickboxing and like get some pride, like original UFC bare knuckle going down. You got like an event. You could have like Thriller sponsor it. Snoop Dogg sing.
Jeez, you're getting out of
that's a little
getting out of
going
control.
extreme.
Go big or go home, boys. Sell tickets, pay-per-view sales.
I would watch it though.
I know you
would
would
watch it.
That actually sounds like a pretty decent show.
Rivaling the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Like it's literally a big build up story. Like think about like a headliner UFC fight, the way they do like the little pre-show, show all the backstory, then you get to watch the actual fight, and then there's glory involved, and it's just
imagine being at the first couple UFCs too, like
some little Mexican Brazilian dude just choking everyone out. That's 300 pounds.
But just to see like the different like they looked at it a different way back then too. It was like they wanted to pull one in from each sport
and see which one reigns true, and then now it's just like, now you must know all of them.
Which mortgage broker's systems work the best?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Who gets higher like referral rates, higher retention? You know, like really bust it down. Then you go straight to the company as well, the brokerage, and then you make it personal about DLC's dealings, and then Verico. You know, what are those guys up to?
Shysters.
We'll find out in the next episode. You know what I mean?